Eli. What do you think of the vacuum that exists now, and what do you think of the various people who are trying to fill it?
Well, I defer on the, I mean, you're one of the best journalists in the world on politics, but my kind of rule of thumb is I don't know, I don't think we even know who the next Democrat's going to be at this point. I mean, we know some people who are going to put their hat in the ring, like a Josh Shapiro or somebody like that, but what we're going to have to sort of see how this goes. And it depends on what happens with the economy. And it depends on where voters are and what happens in the midterms, because on the one hand, everybody seems to agree in the political class, including so many liberals now. We got to drop this woke stuff. We got to drop, know, you know, trans kids in sports and things like that. Fine, but what's your positive? Like, okay, fine, you're moving away from that. Great, but what are you gonna? What are you gonna say about the kind of new economic nationalism, the emphasis on tariffs? And it's possible that the tariffs are going to be an economic disaster, and inflation's going to get worse, and the economy is going to get worse. So at that point, I think that we have to look at what the economy is going to look like to figure out what kind of Democrat people are going to want. If we are in free fall, voters might want a familiar face in some ways, a steady hand, if they see that Trump's the chaos. If things are better than expected, then maybe you're going to see the party become Trumpier in some ways, in that there'll be more populist, but populist from the left. But I just think it's way too soon to tell. And I think that it's just, I mean, I understand why Tim Walz is doing it. And Gavin Newsom is a far more skilled politician in my view. And what he's doing politically is smart by having all these conservatives on his talk show. But I just can't see any of the old faces at this point. But again, I can't know the answer to that question until we know what the economy and the voter electorate looks like. It's quite possible that things are going too far, too fast, and we're going to be facing so many problems, and Trump's going to own it because of all that. And if that's the case, then it could just be anybody but Trump, right? And then at that point, you're just, then, or it could be, we've listened to the voters, the country is over here, and this is what we have to do. So I don't know, because I could see a far left kind of candidate, and I could also see somebody who is going to be Fetterman like or Shapiro like.